Hello lovely people, my name is James. Welcome to Self-Made Finance, where we teach you to be your own finance manager. On this channel, we'll give you the basic financial management skills that you need to take hold of your finances, and we do this in a layman's language. Today we're talking about the concept of risk and return in investment. What is risk? What is return? What's the relationship between them? As investors or individuals, what do we need to know about these two concepts before we place our money or invest our money? Usually we are so enthused about the return on an investment without looking at the risk. And so we put our money into something, the unexpected happens, and we are so disappointed. There are those who also get scared about the risk and don't invest their money at all, forgetting that without risk or without investment, there's no wealth creation. I believe that with a good understanding of these two concepts and how they play out in investments, we will make prudent investment decisions without getting disappointed by the outcome. So let's go into it. What is risk? What's return? But before we do that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the notification bell so that anytime we share a video, you can have it. So now let's come back. What is return? Return is basically the profit or the income you make from your investment, of the extra money you make apart from the principal amount that you invested into your business. Risk, on the other hand, is the uncertainty surrounding your investment, or the probability that your actual return will be different from the expected return. When you invest your money, you expect to, at the end of the day, get your return plus your principal amount. But along the line, things can happen that you can lose your return, you can lose your capital, or both. So the probability or the potency that you can lose your return, you can lose your capital, or both is your risk. Now risk and return. There are four other things that I want you to know because they are very critical to investment. Without knowing those things, you will make mistakes when you try to invest. So the first thing that I want you to know about risk and return is that there is a direct relationship between risk and return. What it means is that when the risk is high, the return is also high. In the same way, when the risk is low, the return is also low. So when you are investing, you need to be aware of these things and don't just put your money into something because you feel the return is good. You need to understand it. The second thing that I want you to know about risk and return is that different investors or different individuals have different risk appetites. I want to explain what risk appetite is before I go into that. Risk appetite is actually the level of risk that you can take. So the level of risk I can take is different from what you can take, different from what your mentor can take, different from what your pastor can take. So if we have different appetite for risk, why would you want to follow somebody to invest? You cannot say that because somebody is doing this, I'm also going to do it. My pastor said that this investment pays a lot, so I'm going to do it. Your pastor has a different risk appetite from you, so why would you want to follow somebody? So before you invest, you need to know your appetite and know the kind of investment that you can go for. The third thing that I want you to know about risk and return is that different investment classes or asset classes have different risk and different returns. And so when you're investing, you need to know the kind of investment you want to do, the risk involved, the return it gives before you put your money into it. Let me go into that. There are about 4, 5, or 6 classes depending on where you're standing. We have equities, we have fixed income, we have commodities, we have derivatives, we have real estate, and each of these classes of assets or investment come with different risk and different returns. So depending on your goal for investing your money or your timelines that you have and your risk appetite, then you choose a kind of investment that suits you. For example, if you're trying to invest towards your rent that is due in 6 months, you don't have to go and put your money into equities or stocks because that requires a longer time for you to be able to get the return that you want. Instead, you need to go for fixed income like T-bills because that is very short and the return is good even though the risk is down. So you need to know your goal, you need to know your timelines, your risk appetite before you put your money into something because different assets, different investment come with different risk and different return. Finally, I want to talk about the fact that risk does not disappear because it didn't crystallize the first time. And this is how I want to explain it. Somebody says that, oh, I know this investment is very risky, but my friend did it yesterday and nothing happened, and so I'm going to do it today. The fact that nothing happened yesterday doesn't mean the risk is no more. The risk is still there, just that it didn't crystallize. It can crystallize today. So if you don't have that kind of appetite, you don't have to go into it. I've met somebody that says that my business is to invest into Ponzi schemes. I know it is risky. I go into it. So I did it yesterday, nothing happened. Somebody says, okay, then I'm going to do it also. The fact that the person did it and it didn't happen doesn't mean that today when you do it, it won't happen. So if you don't have that kind of appetite for that kind of risk, you don't have to do it, because that person might be somebody who knows how to take risk, who is a risk seeker and is going for that. So if you cannot take risk, don't go for that investment. So the fact that it didn't happen yesterday doesn't mean that it won't happen today. Let me use a scenario of how banks give loans to explain this better. When you go to a bank to borrow, a bank is also investing into your business. So they do all their assessments and know the level of risk that they take, okay? So probably they put in measures to mitigate the risk that you come with. After everything, they tell you that we need a collateral. You go through the process, you pass the process, you take the loan, you pay it. Next time you want to come back, the bank is not going to say that because you paid that money and the risk didn't crystallize, they are not going to do that due diligence again. Irrespective of whether you paid it well or not, they will still take you through the process because they believe that the risk is still there. So that is what I want you to know. So now you know the basic thing that you're supposed to know before you invest your money. But what do you do before you invest your money? Stay on this channel, we'll bring you that on self-made finance. Good day, bye-bye.